Hello, hello. How are you guys? Welcome back to Live Trials with EAC with yours truly, Miss Elizabeth Ann. How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's doing splendid. It is about 2:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. And as we all well know, we currently have another insidious impeachment process undergoing currently, unfortunately, against the former president of the United States. I did feel very compelled to do a show about the situation as I felt that this is the farthest thing from unity. I think that the inauguration of the 46th president, Joe Biden, where the whole theme of this entire ceremony was to unite the country after the so-called insurrection that had occurred at Capitol Hill on January 6th. However, one of the biggest issues with such a procedure is that not only is it unconstitutional, but it's honestly unprecedented in our country. Which leads me to my very first question about this whole process itself, right? Why is this process unconstitutional? And that's the biggest thing that we need to talk about today. And I am currently live on my Instagram. So just so you guys can understand why the hell I have the phone there. So the constitutionality of this impeachment process is invalid on its face. Why? Because the U.S. Constitution, which I am going to paraphrase, because if I decide to even read this statute to you, that you guys would just be like, what the fuck? It does not allow for a private citizen to be persecuted for such, I guess you can call them political crimes. And it can only be a sitting president or federal officers that could be impeached, and they must be in office, right? So with such an interpretation is honestly on the contrary. And it's not, I don't understand where we have one group of individuals stating that this is constitutional, which it doesn't say in the U.S. Constitution that you are allowed to impeach a private citizen. And then you have the other group of individuals that are claiming that it is unconstitutional. And that's kind of where I fall on this issue. And it's not based on my political beliefs, my feelings about the previous president or the political parties itself. I just believe more in the rule of law, and that's kind of like how I base my life on, and my overall objective in life is based on the rule of law. So only if anybody else can, abide by those same principles. But then again, life ain't that easy, that's for damn sure. So the fact that the Democrats are in full persecution mode against the former president when the country is still experiencing the effects of COVID-19. People are losing their jobs, they're losing their livelihoods. The economy is trash right now. It's like crashing. The job market is horrifying. There's no jobs, there's no money, there's nothing, right? And on top of that, one of the biggest issues right now, especially in the Northeast and on the West Coast, a lot of the children are not being educated because schools are closed, which is absurd because you look at the other industrialized countries and they are all in school, active, and have been in school since last year, since the pandemic actually started. But for some reason, the I guess legislators in our country, in my country, are just not up to par with, with their counterparts with addressing COVID-19. So instead of, since the Democrats have full-blown power in Washington, D.C., I'm not sure why they're not involved in those specific procedures, and why haven't they issued the next, check money. Like, where's our money? Like, where's my money? I have never gotten a check from anybody since this whole thing started. But I really just don't understand why the Democrats are just in full-blown persecution mode with respects to just going after our former president. And I just think it's honestly at the detriment of the American people, because once again, The American people are currently watching this facade go on live on television, and they're sitting there wondering, okay, like, what about my life? What about when is my children going to go back to school? When am I going to be able to live my life normally again? Like, when are these things? When are we going to be normal again, right? But no, they're not. They're not. They're not aligned with that perspective right now. They're just in full cancellation mode and in censor mode. So that leads me to my next question: is what are the long-term benefits of such an impeachment, or a better, I guess, way to say it is, what are the long-term effects of such a procedure, a process? And however, the illegitimate impeachment process that, has led me to this next question about what are the benefits and the effects of such an impeachment process, right? Currently, from my understanding, there is no benefit at all of such a procedure occurring in today's world, where people, more importantly, the American people, are suffering enormously financially, emotionally, physically, everything. And I needed to have a better understanding and project that, I guess, understanding to my audience and those who are involved in politics and have an understanding and are, in some sense educated with what is going on. And I am trying to better understand how this is, honestly, it's only at the detriment of us, the American people. That's all it really is. This process is just a facade, and it's harming us more than anything else. And it's just political theater. And I really think that it is going to backfire on Democrats in 2 years during the midterm elections. Mark my words. And honestly, the profound impact of such a process only demonizes 74 million Americans that voted for the former president. And this does absolutely nothing to unite the country. It does nothing. It doesn't bring any sides together. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, an independent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what party you align with, whether it's the Green Party, the PP Party, the little PP Party, whatever, your mom's party, it doesn't even matter. This doesn't unite anybody. It further divides the country. And to be honest, this situation is just preposterous to see literally happening only a few weeks after the inauguration of the current president. And it's just weird because he really went on this tangent about unity and how this was the theme of his presidency, right? And it's really weird because his actions have done the opposite as to what he stated that day of his inauguration, right? So what I'm trying to understand is why he would continuously flame the fires for this procedure to further occur and move forward. He could have done the right thing and told the Democrats to stand down and to just stop their BS and get to the people's work, because the people are suffering. But however, that wasn't the case. As you well know, we are currently underway of convicting the former president for supposedly inciting some insurrection. And I really feel that it doesn't matter what political party you're from. It doesn't matter your actual beliefs, where you come from, your background, your creed, your color of your skin, your religion, any of that. What this process is showing to the American people is that if you do not agree with the opposing party, the opposite, you could be canceled, removed, and censored forever and vanished from the political arena. And to me, it's honestly an intimidation tactic that they're using for future, business people, private citizens to then come forward and say, hey, I want to run for political office. What should I do? But anybody that sees this facade that has happened over the last 5 years is just going to take a step back and say, you know what? I'm good. I'm not going to ruin my life, my family's life, my business, anything. So unfortunately, it's a dangerous precedent to set in this country. It's very dangerous. And no matter what party you're on, you should believe and have that same interpretation of such political theater, because it will come for you next. Don't think for 1 second that the cancel culture will stop at the feet of Donald Trump or the Republicans. They will come for you too. You will be censored too. So this then leads me to my final, I guess, question is, where is the Republican Party, and how this process is and could be the end of the Republican Party? And that's just like my personal opinion on that. But it's an honest, I'm kind of thirsty. So it's my biggest concern to date to have a political party allow for such a facade of a procedure to occur and to further divide the nation and demonize almost 80 million Americans that voted for Donald Trump and that is currently being impeached as of today for the second time unconstitutionally. And in my personal opinion, I just think that they should interject and do something to stop this circus before there is no Republican Party left. Because if they're going to allow the further, I guess just put down and just demonizing and making it seem like those people are crazy and they as well should be banished. And that is dangerous. And it just has this profound negative long-term effect that is going to destroy the Republican Party if these people don't do nothing. If they sit back and do nothing, it's going to be fucking bad. And it also has been brought to light that possibly that Donald Trump might actually create another political party. And don't think for 1 second that he is not capable of that, especially after this, because this is only going to bring together his supporters. And it won't be to my surprise if that actually does occur and the Republican Party diminishes forever. So from the moment that the man actually considered running back in 2015, everybody had been against him. Republicans, Democrats, and everybody. Even though before then, estaban pidiendo pa dinero. They're always asking for money. Always going to the rich man, the donor, saying, hey, how are you doing today? You know who I am? Necesito un cheque. I need a check. Can you write me a check for my campaign? It could be tax deducted. It's honestly despicable and sad to see how he is once again being impeached based on the actions of other people. And that's kind of like what I want to conclude this specific show on today is we cannot allow for the precedent to be set that one person is responsible for other people's actions, no matter what or who the person is. It's just an insane thought to consider, thinking that I am responsible for the actions of other people. That would be fucking insane. It's dumb. It's illogical. It's not rational thinking. So I just wanted everybody to kind of get a better understanding as to where I stand with this impeachment process. And it's really not about my political beliefs. It's really not about what party I affiliate with. It's just more based on the principles of the unconstitutionality of such a process. And I think it's really diminishing the rule of law in our country. And then that in of itself is what will be the detriment of this country, is if we let the rule of law become a weapon of power and allow for any political party to weaponize the rule of law would just be the end of this country. And I just need people to better understand that it doesn't matter what side you're on. It doesn't matter what political party you align with. It's about the principles of the fact that this is an unconstitutional process that the actual U.S. Constitution does not allow to occur. The Democrats are doing it anyway, setting an unprecedented, dangerous path for this nation. So I just wanted to thank you guys again for tuning in to Live Trials by EAC with yours truly. And I hope this new topic of conversation brings some spiciness into, my podcast. And I look forward to definitely having more in-depth conversations about the political environment in America, because I'm not very well versed in the international affairs of other countries. But stay tuned for my next episode that will be airing on Friday. So stay tuned, guys. Love you. Oh, yeah.